Okay, people. So sometimes things happen, right? That you really do not expect. But boy, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. You know what I mean? And one of these things just so happens to be rules of the game, right? Now, when I say these things happen, it's because I had no clue about it. But I had previously spoken to the director. So just suddenly it popped up in my feed on Instagram. And I was like, oh shit, Jen's got a new thing. So, you know what I mean? Obviously, I hit her up. And yeah, I was able to get a sneak peek at episode 1. Right. And whoo, I mean, this was something, right? Oh my gosh. Right? I'm just watching the show and it's just like, whew, it sucks you in. It really sucks you in. I had no clue what to expect. So let us give you the gist. All right. It is written by Ruth Fowler, directed by Jennifer Sheridan, executive produced by George Faber, Mark Pybus, Lucy Richer, and Aaliyah Butt. Simon Mayers is the main producer on it. And it is starring Maxine Peake. She plays Sam Thompson. We have got Raki Fakra. She plays Maya Benshaw. Susan Wakama plays D.I. Eve Preston. Kieran Bew plays Gareth Jenkins. Ben Batt plays Owen Jenkins. Callie Cook plays Tess Jones. Alison Steadman plays Anita. That's Owen's mum. All right. Zoe Zappa plays Vanessa Jenkins. That is Owen's wife. And Catherine Pierce plays Gareth's wife, Carice Jenkins. So that's a cast. And you might think, oh, so what's this about? I'll tell you, people. Sam is ruthless, abrasive, and her willingness to play along with the boys means she's climbed to the top of the ladder at sportswear company Fly. As COO, it's a view she's comfortable with. Maya, the newly hired HR director, has a very different perspective. She and Sam clash from their very first meeting. And when Maya begins to unpick the toxic culture of the workplace, dark secrets begin to emerge. Soon, both she and Sam are asking questions about a young female employee, Amy, who died in mysterious circumstances after a company party some years ago. Rocked by a sudden terrible death on company premises, Sam faces questions from the police and finds herself pulled in all directions by her loyalty to the company, by her own family, by Maya, and by new revelations about the death of Amy 10 years ago. Two deaths, one toxic workplace. Just how culpable is the company and how guilty is Sam? Boom, boom, boom. Oh shit. Trust me, right? If I had known that, I would have been in regardless of, you know what I mean, having previously spoken to Jen. But yeah. So as I said, look, I had no clue, right? But it starts off and there's people outside the building in pajamas and onesies, right? There's a dude, I think it's a Care Bear onesie or a shark onesie, and it's just like, yo, what? You know what I mean? I'm kind of thinking, what am I watching here? What is this? What have I agreed to? No. 'Cause you don't want to have a conversation and be like, yo, I hated every part of what I just watched, man. What can I say? You know, obviously we be respectful, you feel me? But it's always better when you've enjoyed something. So this happens, right? And then we have a woman in red pajamas, and she's looking shocked. She's sitting in the back of an ambulance, and we get kind of flashes, right, of her then walking into the building, and you just see these drops on the floor, which you then realize it's blood. And you're like, oh shit. And the police are asking questions, and we have all of this. Then we've got her. Well, you have the police show up, right? Ooh. We have the police show up, people. Then we've got them talking to Sam, right? And there's all these questions being asked, and it's just like, hey, let's just start at the beginning, right? And boom, that's what we do. We jump to events beforehand, which, yeah, what I mean. Listen, we've seen this way of introducing something before, but I do enjoy it, right? And especially when it's done well. This is done well. So we have Maya's first day at the company, right? And so in that synopsis, it says her and Sam clash. Yeah, we see that. It's weird. Everything is super weird, right? You don't know why. You know what I mean? You don't know why. Now, obviously, listen, I think we've all been the new person in a workplace. And I think especially when you've been the new person and the person before you, they left or got sacked and everyone loved them, right? That then gets super weird, man. Super weird, especially when you find that that person has fucked up a lot of shit, right? Then you have to try and correct, and oh man, it's not only so. I don't know if you've been in that experience, but I mean, most people, most people, everyone's been a new person in a workplace, right? So I'm sure everyone can kind of relate to Maya, you know? Now, so she's coming in with that new person energy, that what do they call it on your mum's house? That NIG. I forget. Anyway, people. So yeah, she's super perky, which you get. But yeah, Sam, not overly pleasant and welcoming. So you think, there's shit going on here. And the way they tell the story, right? You get to have everything unfold. We go to Sam's home life, right? She's got two kids, her and her partner, you know. So we see that, but then we also find out that there's therapy going on and just all of these things, right? We see Maya, and when I should say we see something when we first meet Maya, when she's in the car getting ready to leave, and that, I think, that gives you some indications on something. Well, indications, I mean, questions, right? Questions. And so, we learn a bit more, right? We learn a bit more. And I mean, she says something when she's speaking to Amy, right? Because Amy's like, why you want to help me? And she's like, because I understand how it feels when no one's protecting you. And that is a big thing about this. It's a big thing about this. You know what I mean? There's it. It's funny, right? Sometimes things come at that just perfect moment, right? Because I think if this had come out just a few years ago, I think it might not have hit as hard as it does. I mean, obviously, listen, people would watch it and enjoy it, but I think with everything that's been in the news and certain incidents, I'm talking Epstein, I'm talking Ghislaine. I forget how you pronounce her name, but Ghislaine Maxwell, let's just say that, right? It lets you look at this through a different gaze, you know? Now, I have no clue, right? The way this was written or anything like that. But man, I saw these parallels, right? Saw these parallels. And it's not parallels, there's no sex trafficking going on in this story. Well, maybe later. Who knows? In the first episode, there's not people. I'm not gonna tell you what goes down, but I can tell you that. I can tell you that, and I feel I'm not spoiling or ruining anything. You know what I mean? What I mean though, and you saw this in that film. I feel it was called Bombshell, right? About oh god damn it. The dude that ran Fox. You know what I mean? Um and it's the culture, right? It's the culture. And in that film, his secretary knew. Secretary knew. But she would, get the women to come into the office and, wouldn't warn them or tell them. And people just, everyone knew. No one talked about it. Right. And so, you know what I mean? That's a thing here. It's a thing here. But it's done so, oh my gosh, it's done so well, right? Because you see all these different personalities, you see these incidents in the workplace. And I gotta say, man, it definitely brought me back to some just shitty work situations. Woo! But it paints that picture so well. Painter, like sometimes you watch these things and the work situations, you just watch them and be like, yo, people don't do that in the workplace. Like that doesn't, like, what the fuck is this, man? But this, boy, it nails it. It really nails it. Just some of the detail, right, that we see, just the way people act and, you know what I mean, the way they talk and just all of that, man, you believe in those situations, right? Just the casual drinking, like the way people comment and pass tasks off because they do not want to do them, right? So it all unfolds, but it's not just all in the workplace because Maya is new, she's new to this joint, so we see her, the start of her trying to integrate into this place. Yeah, we don't know where it is, but we know it's not London. That's one thing we do know. But we see her like starting to integrate, but I mean, it's that thing where it's just like, do I want to do this? And so, it's super interesting. And just the permeations of the work, man, it really spirals out from the workplace. So it's just, man, it's intriguing as hell. So we have all of this, and throughout, we're cutting back to this police situation because, I don't know what you would call it. It's not quite an interrogation, it's just questions, right? So we're cutting between that and this, which also gives you the point of, what's the truth, right? Because what we see in the flashbacks doesn't always tie up with what we're hearing. So that Oh man, you're just watching, you're being like, yo, wait, hold on a second. She just said, but we just saw, huh? And the police have questions, right? We see them, especially when it's just, what I mean, because it's the beginning of the investigation, so they're trying to work out what happened, and just some of the quick little hits, that oh gosh, Di Eve Preston comes with. You know what I mean? Just her observations of suicide, right? And there's a bit where she's just like, "Oh man, I used to work murder and rape. Oh, I miss that." And you're just like, "Yo, what the fuck?" You know what I mean? Yo, what the fuck? But kind of makes a little sense, because I think there's certain cases and things that you think are probably a lot more clear cut, right? But a suicide, man, especially depending on the note that's left and the way it is, and just whew, can be crazy. But and as I said, look, that doesn't seem like a crazy comment in the context of what's going down, right? But everyone we meet in this first episode, you believe, right? You believe in this full rich character, right? And we don't know a lot about these characters, but straight away they're getting brought to life in a really great way. In a really great way. We've got fantastic camera work, you know what I mean? Just the way the scenes are set up, that's everything like that. Man, I gotta say, people, you definitely want to check this show out, right? It's 4 episodes, okay? And it will be debuting on BBC One and BBC iPlayer on Tuesday, the 11th of January at 9 p.m. Okay, that's when it hits, but don't fear, because all the episodes will then go onto iPlayer as a box set. So you don't have to wait, don't have to play them games, people. How great is that, right? How great. I love that shit, because it doesn't mean you're necessarily going to watch it all that night, but hey, you might want to watch it the next day or that, but you just don't have to wait until next Tuesday, which, is fine. But man, I like it that I can decide when I'm going to watch something. You feel me? But yeah, this is definitely, I'm hooked. I want to find out what happens next, people. Trust me, because boy, there is a web that is weaved. There is a web that is weaved. And I want to find out what my fucking spider is doing that shit. So yeah, you people, when have I led you wrong? When have I read you wrong? You know what I mean? Now, if you watched Jen's film from the London Film Festival, right? 2020, Rose, a love story. Now, completely different, but if you enjoyed the way that story was told, you enjoyed the visuals, yeah, she brings that expertise to this. So if you like shows like, House of Cards, The Thick of It, and all of that kind of jazz, The West Wing kind of thing, just those intrigues, those stories that aren't necessarily clear cut. You know what I mean? Stuff like Memento and things like that. If you enjoy that, then Rules of the Game, oh, that is definitely gonna get you thinking and have your brain just on overdrive, man. Because boy, I so far I love it, love it. It's about an hour, right? Think an hour, 60 minutes, just slightly under 57, something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, people, go get you some, because boy, I gotta say, right, over the next 3 episodes, I imagine some revelations are gonna be unfolding. So yeah, there you go, man. Rules of the game. Let's get it.